Hello, my name is Jacob Dresen, and today I'm going to be talking to you about electrical power. So, what exactly is electrical power? So, the first thing I think of when I think of power is power lines. We see them all the time along the highway and in cities and stuff, and we never really think about the background behind all of what's going on here. So, the basics of this power. Where are these power lines getting their power from? Well, it comes from a power generator, which is shown here in the picture. And the basics of this is we have two magnets, and we have a coil of wires in between them. And when we spin the wires, it actually moves these electrons in the wire, and these electrons are little particles that are just moving back and forth here, and that's what's generating power in this wire. So that's the basics of a power generator. And how do we generate power, though? Well, we have a couple different ways. Here is a coal generator. It uses coal to burn. It burns coal to boil water, and the water turns into steam, and it moves upward and is able to move turbines, which, if we look at our diagram here, that moves those wires there. So it's moving those wires and thus creating power, or rather generating power. Other ways we can do it is with a dam, which uses water to, while the water is falling, it moves these turbines and it generates power that way. And there's also nuclear power, which works similarly. So now that we have this power in our power lines, we know it's coming through the power lines and it comes to our houses. So what do we use that for? Well, we use it for a number of things. Quite a few things, actually. We use it for lights. We use it to light our houses and other things. And another interesting one is a dryer. Dryers are really interesting because they use both heat and motion. So power is coming into our house, and it's just coming in through a wire, and we're able to turn it into light, and we're also able to turn it into heat and into motion. So we use power for a number of different things, and we can use it for cell phones and hair dryers and computers and a whole bunch of other things. So what does this have to do with electrical engineering? So, electrical engineers use this a lot. It's kind of the basis of electrical engineering. So, if you look at the diagram here, we have the generator at the station, and it's generating this power going through the power lines, and it goes into factories and houses and such. And then we use this power for what I mentioned before earlier, to power our houses and for lights and cameras and phones and a whole bunch of other things. So this energy, while it's going through the power lines, we don't really understand what is going on. So power is actually measured in watts. And what that means is that's the amount of energy that is going through the wire per amount of time. So we measure that in watts, and the higher the wattage, the more power you have. So that is the basics of power in electrical engineering. So in summary, power is used every day in many places to enhance people's everyday lives. And power is generated in a number of different ways, all using the same basic concept of a power generator. And power is used for light, heat, and motion purposes. And power is measured in unit energy per time. So thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something.